First win, 103 points, big night offensively for your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the games against Northern Iowa and South Dakota State, they really give you a good chance to measure, where you're at. Both are really good defensively. UNI smothered us quite a bit, and let us take a step back and really look at ourselves and try to improve. And playing Oak Hill's obviously a different caliber of talent, but it was still a good chance for our guys to get out there and compete and see if we're still making strides and improvements. Probably didn't play as well as we would liked in the first half, but there was a stretch in the second half where we played pretty well, and you're happy about that.
And Oak Hills was able to cut that deficit to 5 points early in the second half, and then the energy seemed to pick up from your guys, and you kind of blew it open from there.
Yeah, I think I think the two bigs off the bench, Baumgartner and Landor, really did a nice job of sparking us. Zach provided a lot of energy, obviously off defensively for us with a few block shots and some energy plays, and got a dunk in there, and that's what you want from your bench. Having Jacob go out for 9 threes just was pretty steady the whole night. Kept on knocking him down, left him open quite a bit, and fortunately for us, he was able to knock him down. But we had good balance, a lot of good play. Bader had a nice second half. Like I said, Landwehr played really well in the second half as well. Longo, was struggling really throughout the night shooting the three, but I think he knocked down his last two, which shows me a little about him too. Confidence level, no matter what's going on during the game, he still competed defensively. Didn't show any disappointment in not knocking down threes, but hit a couple late, which was huge. I'd rather have a guy in a tough situation and tough games where you might be struggling a little bit during the game, but when the game's on the line, they can deliver, and hopefully Longo has a little bit of that in him as well.
And how is Landwehr? He took a pretty good spill there, and he was kind of shaken up a little bit. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, I think he's okay. He got x-rays the next day, and his wrist is pretty sore, but it's not broken, so that's a good one. So hopefully, some treatment and things like that, he'll be ready to go sooner rather than later.
And now Northland College on Saturday. Talk about the Lumberjacks.
Well, first of all, their head coach, Scott Sorensen, really good coach, does a great job with them. Was at BSU, I think, for about 4 to 6 years or so. So he's got some familiarity with Bemidji State in the area. I know he really likes the area. But coach is very similar to how they played back then, and they've always run really good motion. Just watching them on film, he might run more of a mover blocker, which is a couple bigs out there setting a lot of screens for the perimeter guys and trying to create looks for them, and then they post those two big guys up quite a bit as well. So well coached. They've always done a really good job. He's always done a really good, run a really good program, a classy individual, and expect a pretty good game from him.
On signing day, you get one NLI from Dalton Albrecht. What can you tell us about him?
Great kid, great family. Just a long, lanky shooter. That's a huge upside. Really impressed us throughout the summer and just kept on getting better and better. I think he's a 6'7" forward that can play multiple positions again, and whether it's on the block, but I think more of his future will be on the perimeter. Being one of those big guard spots, and I think he'll play a little point guard for his high school team this year a little bit, and so having that ability to play multiple positions will be really valuable for us down the road.
And then next weekend, you guys will be gone in Florida. What are the expectations of the teams, or what should we expect to see from those teams that you guys will be facing?
Well, again, it'll be a step up in competition. We'll be playing in the Division II tournaments. So West Palm Beach will be a really athletic team. Again, well coached. Dave Balza has been around the blocks a few times. Was at a Division I school in Florida for a number of years. I think at Florida Gulf Coast. Was in Minnesota at Bethany Lutheran for a number of years, and I coached against them there. And has always run a really good program, high character individuals. So I expect the team to be a really disciplined group that can really play at a high level. I haven't seen them on film yet, but I expect two quality games and two quality opponents, and we'll have to continue to improve to play well down there.
Obviously, you were feeling it, 9 of 14, shooting 3-pointers, tying the school record. Talk about how you felt on the court.
I I was very comfortable. I think over the last couple practices and like all through preseason, all the other guys have helped me a lot. I'm feeling comfortable from my new place, and it just shows a lot when, especially when you're a shooter and you need that help from others to get the right touch, to get the positive touch. It just helps a lot. And when I was home, I saw it go in. Just keeps flowing from there on out. So, yeah.
And did the 3 exhibition games before that season opener help you work on your shot and work with your teammates?
It definitely helped me get into like the rhythm of it, because of my 2 previous schools. I've learned a lot, but I never really got to see the floor that much. So from my standpoint, in the last 3 games, I've got to experience and play a lot more. And from that standpoint, yeah, it helped me a lot to finding my shot and find the rhythm of the shot.
And talk about coming here and how you've gotten with your teammates and started to create some chemistry.
I think the transition over the last few years have been extremely rough for me. I had 6 offers out of school. I chose one of them, like one of the schools in Tennessee, and just didn't go out how I wanted it to be. And I ended up transferring after 2 years, and I transferred because I was kind of tired of the Southern, I guess, culture aspect of it. I wanted to come up here, and when I went on my visit here, it just reminded me a lot of Europe, how everyone was nice, you could talk to anybody. And it just, I don't know, that everyone on the team is just nice. I don't think I've met a person here at Bemidji that's not nice to me. So that's one of the main reasons why I decided to come here, and it has definitely not disappointed on that point. So
Now you've got another game coming on Saturday against Lakeland College.
yes, sir.
Is it Lakeland?
Or it's Northland.
Northland College. Talk about getting ready for that game.
For us, we've been focusing a lot defensively. That's just our main point that we have to do like in practice every single day, and that's the thing. One of the things we've also been working on previous. We just got to keep working on it and get better. And on Saturday, we should prove to ourselves and to everyone here at Bemidji that we can actually play defense, and can't be letting up 60 points every single night, because the shot's not always going to fall like it did last game. So.
Anything?
We obviously know one of your strengths is the 3 ball. What would you say you are working on more of that? Or are you trying to find another area of your game that you can improve, or are you just trying to keep it all balanced at one thing at a time?
Well, one thing that I've learned through my collegiate experiences is that, you can have a skill set. You can also work as hard as you can, but if you don't understand the small little things of the game, how to read the defense when you're dribbling, it's never going to go anywhere. For me personally, I've always been able to shoot since I was very, very little, but I've always had a work ethic, and I've always been in the gym working on my ball handling skills. It's first now over the last year actually, where I've gone deep in my thought process and started thinking about how I can drive, find holes. I do that actually a lot in practice, and I want to do it more and more every single game. But the last game, I was so open so many times that I was like, we can get these open shots all the time. There's no reason for me to dribble. There's no reason for me to create. When all we got to do is pass it around, we can find an open layup or an open 3-pointer. So that was really the main aspect of me just making the right play for the right team. And in that game, it wasn't really driving as much as it was passing. So.